Saira. So today's topic for discussion and deliberation is what is the demise of an entity from the physical body or the mortal body? What is the definition? How does it happen? What actually happens after the demise? So mainly we have three entities we can talk about whom who what happens to these three different entities when they shed the body. First, the mortal beings, like regular common men like me, you, and all of us, or most of us. What happens to us? What is the case of chiranjeevis? Chiranjeevis are eternal, the immortals. What is the case of chiranjeevis? And what about the avatars, the Anshavatars, the Purnavatars, and the Karanavatars? What happens to them? Right? Three different things. So we will start with the regular what we are and what happens to us when we shed the body. There is a video already published, The Experience of Death, Death, the Ultimate Truth. So if somebody wants to know the experience of death, they can refer to that video of Saipanth. However, in this, we are not going to dive deep into the experience of death. However, just a brief, death is a very beautiful experience to start with. And as I was mentioning in that video, all our attributes, basically the fear, the anxiety, the guilt, the Arishad Vargas, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these things, our attachments, everything will start evaporating from us, layer by layer. The entire conditioning of the mind and emotions evaporate from us like release of a spasm, layer by layer. And there is absolutely state of bliss that we attain. And then depending on our sanskaras, which are basically thought processes which are imbibed in us, depending on our conditioned minds and our belief system, immediate next experience is going to be based on that, our belief systems or sanskaras. If we believe in heaven and hell, that is certainly experienced, but there is no heaven and hell. The definition of heaven and hell for a small passage of time, it is experienced, felt. Then the maturity of the conscience comes. It moves above to the truth, which is there is no heaven and hell. If we are Advaitis, if we don't believe in heaven and hell, we don't experience that. It is basically the belief system which will manifest into a temporary phase of reality of the conscience. So it goes by layer, layer. And finally, we attain a state of a very matured, very calm, very peaceful entity, the Aham. Then we are one with our Sanchita Karma, And if we have lived a life which we should not have, if our karmas are, not something which we can be proud of, or which is basically dushkarmas, there is a strong sense of regret that carries, because those karmas have become already one with us. There is no separate container called the Sanchita karma. So that karma is dissolved and already become one with us. So a tinge of regret, strong essence of regret remains in the conscience. The divine intellect is one with the conscience. The divine intellect is the one which carries all the karmas and karma phalas, which we call it as Sanchita karma once we shed the body. Based on that, and at that point of time, your guru comes to you. Guru is always with you and within you, but he exhibits himself up. He comes out of you. And it's a beautiful process of defining our next birth, realities of our next birth, next experiences, all based on our Sanchita karma. So karma, karma phala, rana, rana, anubandha, based on all those things, we take another birth. And when somebody says that, when we shed the body, all that we see is a light. Well, I mean, we are the very light which we are seeing. But however, if I have to define that light, how it is to see, it's the light is like that of a white pearl. White pearl is possibly visible even in the darkness. The pearlish white light is not one spot, the whole thing is just that white light, that beautiful, blissful. I think that is the closest thing which I can compare it with, the light. It's that pearl white light. So that is what we can say. That light is a lack of darkness. I mean, light is always lack of darkness, they say, and darkness is lack of light, right? That is the Advaita philosophy. Light is lack of darkness. Darkness is lack of light, right? Anyway, this is the kind of light that we see. Then subsequently, we move on. In comparison with the worldly existential realities and the so-called timelines, we don't believe in time. Once you are out of the body, you're above and beyond the clutches of time and space. You have no time. You have no, space. So you're just eternal. However, in connection, in connotation with the physical reality and the world we live in, which is completely based on the timeline, it's not Kala, it is Samaya. There's a difference between Kala and Samaya. We have already discussed. So, based on that Samaya, in correlation, the soul or the conscience or the aham rests anywhere between 9 days to 99 years. 9 days, it can take birth again, or it can wait till 99 years, purely based on the karmas and karma phalas. Everything is based on that, and purely based on the relationships, the associations, attachments to people. If, for example, I have decided that, such and such a person has to be my spouse even in the next birth. However, The spouse has another 20 years to live, and I cannot cut short. So I wait for those 20 years in that realm. When I correlate it with the worldly existence, Samaya, when I draw Samaya to that realm, Sukshma Sharira, that is a timeline. Just an example. So this is about us, commoners. Beyond this conscience, if we have done enough and more sadhanas, in other words, if we have had better understanding about the divine, if we are devoid of, Arishad Vargas, and if we have substantially receded our karmas, then you don't have to take birth as a human, in a human form. It all depends on our state of spiritual maturity and evolution. Lesser the karma, lesser the possibility of taking birth again. When I say lesser the karma, both dushkarma and sukarma. I do only good. I'll have to enjoy the fruits of my good deeds. I do bad, obviously, I'll have to enjoy the good deeds of, fruits of my bad deeds. So you cannot, your balance sheet cannot be balanced out by saying that good deed will negate the bad deeds of mine. No, both are going to stay. When your dushkarma recedes, I'm not saying it's over, recedes. But your sukarma, which is a good deed, is very high. Yet you may have to take birth to enjoy the fruits of your sukarma. How do we deal with it then? Nishkama karma. The only answer to this is Nishkama karma, which Lord Shri Krishna has said it in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever I do, I am not the doer. Submission and surrenderance to our Guru. Then your balance sheet is clean. He will take you. When we say that Guru can take us out of the realm of birth and death and birth and cycle of birth and death, this is what it means when you practice Nishkama karma and instrumental devotion. These are the two things. If we do it, you are sure to get saved from the cycle of birth and death. Right? This is about the story of us. And beyond that, Guru evolves us more and more and more, and we become eventually mukti or moksha, oneness. For we are Advaiti, so we believe in moksha or oneness. Right? That is our story. That is our path. Now let us come to the lives of, demise of uh, avatars. Sorry, beg your pardon. Let us talk about the state of Chiranjeevis, the immortals, the eternal. What happens to them? So, what our thoughts are that they are so and so, like Lord Hanuman, Sri Hanumanji, who is a Kuldevta of our Guru. By that virtue, he is our Kuladevata as well. So, Lord Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi. So, he's in that physical form, one form that Lord Hanuman is. He is never going to shed the body. He is always there. So, is he in one place, in one form, like the way he was from Treta Yuga? My question is, if there is, Ramcharitamānasa or Ramayana is being recited in 100 places or 1,000 places or 100,000 places, everywhere it's a ritual or it is a practice. It's a protocol rather to keep one empty chair because Lord Hanuman is going to be there. He is going to listen to the Ram Katha. No doubt about it. So if there are 100,000 places where simultaneously Ram Katha is happening, how can one entity be in every place? So that itself is a very simple, basic understanding and example where it defeats that argument. Technically, how does it happen? Let's say, for example, the one of the greatest of the Chiranjeevis is Lord Hanuman. When they are one with the whole universe, they are one with every living and non-living thing. They are every living and non-living thing. They are not just one with, they are it. Absolute oneness from Brahman to the every atom and molecule. They attain that state and perform Nirmana Kaya. Conscience is there. Soul is immortal. Aham is immortal. But in the body also, Chiranjeevi is specifically that one who lives in the same body. General understanding. What happens is when they perform the Nirmana Kaya, they can manifest, integrate these five elements, the water, the air, the fire, the ether, and the water. Sorry, water, air, earth, ether, and Panchatattvas, right? So they integrate these five elements and appear wherever they are necessary to be appeared. Wherever they have to appear, they appear in physical form. So that is the process for Chiranjeevis. There are 8 Chiranjeevis. We are talking about Lord Hanuman, one of the greatest of the Chiranjeevis. So that is the, that is in the case of the Chiranjeevis, right? So these are the two things. One, what happens to us, common people who are pursuing the spiritual progression. We are on the path. We are walking on the path of spiritual progression, ultimate oneness, mukti, moksha, whatever. Second is about the Chiranjeevis, how they disintegrate and integrate whenever and wherever they want, whenever and wherever they have to. This is about them. There are Ashta Chiranjeevis. Anyway, let us rest. Now coming to the Mahasamadhis, the main subject which we are discussing today. What is Mahasamadhi? First, a Mahasamadhi is attained by the avatars, the gurus, the Purna avatars, the Ansha avatars, the Karana avatars. Mahasamadhi is attained by Purnavadhutas and Brahmavadhutas and avatars of all the types. This is the Mahasamadhi, greatest of the yogis, greatest of the masters who attain Mahasamadhi. What is the difference between the people like us who are seekers, who are on the path of spiritual progression? Chiranjeevis, let us rest them aside, and the avatars and the masters and the gurus. What is the difference? The stark difference is we are the individual entities or conscience or aham, we are taking birth after birth after birth in order to complete our karma phala rida ridana bandha. That is our purpose. That is the reason why we are not progressing beyond. We are caught in the clutches of karma phala, birth and rebirth. This is we. When it comes to avatars, when it comes to avadhutas, siddhas, and the greatest of yogis and masters, first of all, their birth in itself is for the universal necessity. They are not born to burn their karmas and karma phalas, rinas and rinanabandhas. Very clear. Their presence is only for the universal necessity to uplift the ones who have got stuck in the clutches of Maya and in the cycle of birth and death, birth and death. That is the purpose of avatars. We understand the difference. That is the purpose of gurus, the masters, the yogis, siddhas, sadhakas, avadhutas, brahmavadhutas, and purnavadhutas. These are the two things. We have rested. Chiranjeevis aside. Now, can we become that? Can an individual consciousness who is caught in the clutches of Maya, caught in the clutches of cycle of birth and rebirth and birth after birth, can we get liberated and move towards the other side? Yes, you can. Yes, we can. We have all the fundamental rights, not just, you don't have to beg for it. You don't have to, search for it. You have that fundamental right to flip onto that side. You have a right. The very purpose of our birth after birth is to go towards that side where you become like an avatar. You emulate the avatars. And then you progress like them. You become one with them. You become them, or you become one with everything. You are the very Brahman whom you are seeking. You are the very Guru, or you are the very God whom you are seeking. Whom you are looking up to is you. That certainly you are entitled. I am entitled for that. So how do we do that? How can we do that? Simple. Very easy. Two things. Nishkama karma, instrumental devotion. You serve the cause of the divine, and whatever is happening in your life as an individual, submit it to your Guru. Whichever you believe in, Guru, God, whatever. I call it Guru because I know Guru exists. I don't know about God. So, instrumental devotion and desireless deeds. Only two things. न कर में न जन्मे, न कर्मे न जन्मे. Matlab, there is no karma, there is no janma. When you don't have the janma, karma, when you don't, then you don't have the janma. But karma is there. Consciously or unconsciously, everything, there is karma. So it's a contradiction that how can I be without the deed? There is deed. There is karma. So there is no way you can attain a moksha. No. The only thing is nishkama karma. And the other only thing which you have to do is serve the cause of your divine as the instrument of your divine. We do these two things, surely we don't have to, come back to the cycle of life and death and life and death and life and death. You have all the fundamental rights and you're entitled to flip to the other side, just like your guru. If you have to be like your guru, become one with your guru, first you have to emulate your guru. You have to behave or conduct or serve or imbibe the qualities of your guru. Definitely you're there. All the karma that you do, you leave it to the divine and say that it is not mine. Nishkam karma. And I serve your cause. That's it. You're done. Your yoga sadhana and everything is part of emulating your guru, right? Which is taught by your guru. He is asking you to do these things. So that's why. So you have all the rights and entitlements to flip to the other side. Now comes the actual crux of the topic. How does the avatars, when they shed the body, what actually happens? So we have understood the Chiranjeevis, we have understood ourselves, and we now come to the avatars, the divine masters, the gurus, the Siddha Purushas, the yogis, the avadhutas. How does it happen? As I was mentioning, before we understand how does it work when they shed the body, we know now that the very fact that they have taken birth is for universal necessities. Their birth itself is well defined. They are not like us taking birth after birth to burn our karma, their own karmas. No, they don't. They are devoid of all those things. Their birth in itself is for the universal necessities. That is mankind's, every living and non-living beings, benefit and benevolence. Now, how does it work? Three types of avatars. Karana avatars. I'll take the one example for each. Karana avatar. The Karana avatara means a conscious, individual conscience from the divine, the individual conscience which is emanated from the supreme consciousness for a particular purpose. A particular purpose. Karana. Generically, yes, dharma sanstapana, upliftment of the living beings, fine. The process of uplifting the mankind or every living being. For example, Adi Shankaracharya, he was a Karana avatar. It is believed and reasons are for that, yes, he was a Karana avatar which emanated from Lord Shiva. Adi Shankaracharya is considered as a avatar of Lord Shiva. So what is his Karana? What is purpose of Adi Shankaracharya? Siddhanta. The ultimate Siddhanta, the first Siddhanta which came to the world was Advaita Siddhanta. Establishment of Advaita Siddhanta. True narrations, perfect interpretations, perfect bhashya on all the shastras. So that is the purpose of Adi Shankara. So what happens when a Karana avatar sheds the body? When the Karana avatar sheds the body, the physical realm of the body, the physical entity is non-consequential. It just disintegrates like anybody else's. But the Karana, the purpose, the Sankalpa, for example, Adi Shankaracharya has become one with the entire philosophy of Advaita. The entire philosophy of Advaita, Vedanta, all the bhashyas, every work that he has done, the conscience has become one with that completely. Sankalpa. You pick up the book of Advaita Siddhanta, you pick up the Vedanta books, Shankara is there. You think about the Vedantas, you think about Advaita Siddhanta, Shankara is there. Karana. So the Karana avatars are always like that. They are one with the entire purpose. Karana avatara means the avatar with a specific purpose. They are one with that purpose. The sankalpas are one with that purpose and they remain. They remain in that realm all along. As long as the mankind is there. That is Karana. When the Karana avatar sheds the body, that's what happens. Another example of Karana and Ansha together. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he integrates all the gurus into the holy book, Shri Guru Granth Sahib, and he says that this has all the 10 gurus immersed in it. They are one with that. You don't have to search for any other guru. The whole purpose, integration of all the gurus is Guru Granth Sahib itself. There is no succession. There is nobody who is going to succeed me. This is final. That one sankalpa of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji brought in all the Chaitanya of all the gurus. And that is why in this adorable sect or religion called the Sikhism, they worship Granth Sahib as a living guru. Now I think we can relate to more, we can relate more into that philosophy of Karana avatars. It's all one that thought. As long as the mankind is there, these gurus are always there. How are they? When you touch the Guru Granth Sahib, you are touching the feet of a guru. It's a living guru. That is how it is revered. That's how it has been worshipped. That's how it has been read. This is about Karana avatars. Now comes to Ansha avatars. Individual consciousness and the supreme consciousness together, merged, blended. Ansha avatars. Most of the Datta Sampradayas, most of the Natha Sampradayas, the masters in these orders, what I meant is, they are Ansha avatars. Guru Ansha, which is the Datta Ansha, and an individual consciousness blended and they come together. Avadhuta Sampradaya or Datta Sampradaya or the Guru Shishya Sampradaya are all the same. To a large extent, I can even say that it won't be wrong if I say that even Natha Sampradaya is the same. The individual consciousness blended with the avatar, with the divine entity, Ansha avatar. When this Anshavatara comes into the world, it has, since as I mentioned, the divineness, divine entity and the individual consciousness for a particular purpose again. If you see in Karana avatars, the teachings are stronger. The imbibing of virtues are stronger. The explanation to the world about the truth is more prominent and predominant. When it comes to Anshavatars, it is more of miracles. Anshavatars are more of expressions, more of, as I said, miracle workers or energy workers. You just go to any Avadhuta, they say, okay, forget it. You have this problem, wipe it. It's done. They don't spend much in explanations. When they say that even gurus are mostly the true masters, they are Anshavatars of Datta and the individual consciousness. A true master does not teach, he imparts. Beyond a certain time, a true master, at times you may feel that, what is happening. He may just rubbish you and say that, no, you just listen to what I'm saying, that's it. Don't question. So you see a radical difference between Karana avatars and Ansha avatars. However, we are talking about what happens when the avatars also shed the body. When an Anshavatara sheds the body, the individual consciousness, which is blended with the supreme consciousness or the divine consciousness, is separated. Individual consciousness moves on. The supreme consciousness in the as an Anshavatar, which has come, remains. The sankalpas of that Anshavatara remains. Excuse me. So the sankalpas of Anshavatara remains. They're eternal. What are the sankalpas? You come to this place, you will be benefited with such and such a things. You will be definitely be relieved of your pain and miseries, agonies. These are all the assurances and promises which they make. That gets fulfilled. People make pilgrimages to those places. They get their wants fulfilled, their worries relieved, their agonizing experiences relieved, and they come back. They take a oath that, I am, you fulfill this wish of mine, then I shall come and pay a visit to you. I'll offer my obeisance to you. So all these things go on, and it is beautiful. If this happens, this is more so of Anshavatars. Little radical. Yes. The individual consciousness, which is blended with the divine consciousness, imparts, divides. Most of the Dvaita Siddhantis, the followers of the Dvaita Siddhantis, dualism, their avatars are Anshavatars. The Anshavatara, as I said, the individual consciousness, which is blended with the divine or the supreme consciousness, separates, and the individual consciousness just evolves and dissolves, moves on. The divine remains as the carrier of and fulfiller of all the sankalpas, the wishes that needs to be fulfilled, wish fulfilling place or a space or an entity. We have so many such experiences or the places in it, in every place. Like, you go to Akkalkut, Swami Samartha, your wishes are fulfilled. So you go there. You go to Shegaon, Gajanan Maharaj. So these things happen. So it happens. Anshavatars. So this is about Anshavatar. When they shed the body. Finally, the last and the supreme and the only Purna avatars. what happens when they shed the body? How does it blend? What actually happens? We know Karana avatars, that conscious blends with the Karana in itself. Ansha separates, the entity moves away, the Aham moves away, the Ansha, the divine, remains to fulfill the wishes of the Sankalpas of the Aham. Purnavataras. There are very few Purnavataras. Purnavataras are the divine or the supreme consciousness in its own full form and force. Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Rama, likewise, quite a few. And finally, what matters to us, our Guru Sri Sainath. Purnavatara of Adi Guru Dattatreya is Shirdi Sainath Maharaj. Purnavatara is the ultimate avatar. We're talking about what happens at the demise, so-called demise. Actually, there is no demise, but so-called demise of each avatar. Now, when there is Purnavatara and has to shed the mortal presence, Sri Lord Rama walks into Sarayu and just disintegrates. Sri Krishna keeps his feet sleeping under the tree, and the feet looks like a face of a deer, and a hunter shoots it and he sheds the body. Sri Sainatha Shirdi of Shirdi, he sends away all his devotees and disciples on the Vijayadashimi day, and he sits in Dwarka Mai with just two of his disciples. Them also he sends. Between 2:30 p.m. and 2:47 or 43, 47, 17 minutes, he slowly sheds the body. He sends everybody away and he blocks everybody from visiting Dwarkamai. He slowly sinks in and gradually he sheds the body. By 5:05, 5 o'clock and 5 minutes, 5 minutes past 5 p.m., the body, the entire Chaitanya has left the body. Slowly. What happens to such that supreme consciousness, Purnavatara of Adi Guru Dattatreya? Now we have to take a thread from the Shastras. I am in every atom and molecule of the whole universe. I am the every atom and molecule which is present in the whole universe. I am in it and I am it, Dvaita and Advaita. I was there before the beginning. I will be there even after the end. I am all pervasive. I am in every living being. I am in every non-living being. I am every living being. I am every non-living being. I know I have no past. I have no present. I have no future. I am eternal. You are not even the doer. Everything is dissolved in me. The universe, multiple universes, or a small speck in me. There is nothing which I don't know. I am the very knowledge which you are trying to gain. I am the path. I am the destination. I am the one who will carry you from on the path to destination. When the divine says that, which Baba has said in Sri Satcharitra, which is the basis of our whole foundation of our Saipanth and the gospel and doctrine of Shirdi, that is the Satcharitra. The individual consciousness, which is a Purna Avatara, when it takes birth in a human form, whatever it has said, I am Adi, I am Sanatana. Sanatana doesn't mean a stupid religion. Sanatana means eternal. The supreme consciousness from Shunya to Sakshi, Sakshi to Shabdha, Shabdha to Chaitanya, Chaitanya to Vastu, Vastu to every. See, the Shunya is everything. And from Shunya came the Sakshi, which is the Brahman. From there till a smallest of the thing, which is an atom. When you put an atom under a microscope, you get a matter. When you put a matter under a microscope, again, you get nothing, it is Shunya. So from that Shunya till this Shunya, I am everything. That starts integrating from the Brahman to the entity. It starts integrating. That is Purna. When you are looking at Purna Avatara, when you are seeing and worshipping a Purna Avatara, it is eternal. Purna Avatara doesn't have any beginning. Purna Avatara doesn't have any end. Neither do us, neither do we, but when we become one with the Supreme Conscious, that's when we can say. When they shed the body from that Shunya, which is beyond or below the matter, from there till the Shunya, which was there before the beginning of everything. Please mute yourselves. So the entire entity starts integrating with every atom and molecule of the universe. Omnipresence, omnipotent, omniscient, everything. Purnavatars were worshipped, will always be worshipped. You can never take that away. They are always there being worshipped. Anshavatars fade away. Karanavatars fade away. But Purnavataras never fade. Lord Rama was worshipped from Treta Yuga till today. The relevance of Lord Rama is from Treta Yuga till today. The relevance of Krishna, Lord Krishna, is from Dwapara Yuga till today. Dattatreya from Satya Yuga till today. So these are all the avatars which are Purna avatars. We are not talking about the tattvas like, Lord Kartikeya, Maha Ganapati. These are all the tattvas. We are talking about the avatars. When they shed the body, they just become one with everything. From Shunya, which is identified below matter, that Shunya, which is beyond and before the beginning, the one which is eternal, it spreads and becomes one with everything. That is how the Purnavataras disintegrate. But eventually, everything is one. We are one with the avatars. We are one with the Purna avatars. Karanavatars are one with the Purna avatar. Anshavatara is one with the Purna avatar. Purna avatara is everything. The final. It just has one thing called the name. Sirf naam rahega. Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Sri Hanuman. Likewise, there are several Purna avatars. So when the Purna avatara sheds the body, this is what happens. They dissolve, they become one with, they become it. That is how the entire whole Saransha of Ishavasya Upanishad talks about. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Isha, the divine. Vasyam resides in or is. Ishavasyam idam is sarvam. Everything. Dvaitis call it as Ishavasyam idam sarvam means Isha is residing in everything. Advaiti's interpretation is Isha Vasya idam is everything. Is not in everything, is everything. That is the slight difference in thought processes and philosophies. Dvaita and Advaita. We are Advaitis. So the Isha Vasya idam sarva. The summary of Isha Vasya Upanishad is is one of the tenets or one of the threads we can correlate with the oneness or with the experience or explanation of Purna avatars shedding the body. I think I've taken enough and more time in explaining. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the patient hearing. Hope I could explain to the best of my ability about the way the Purna avatars and avatars, what happens when they shed the body. Thank you. Thanks for your patient hearing. Sai Ram.